Nehi is about coming and learning that being a leader is first and foremost about being a servant, and that's because Jesus Christ humbled himself and was a servant to those he led.
He displayed the ultimate act of service to die on the cross for our sins, and because of that we should be compelled to serve others. And I think me and my team does a really good job of putting them in situations where they have to choose to serve others or to serve themselves.
Service never stops. Like, there's never a reason to not be serving. Like, we are called to follow Christ's example, and while Jesus was on earth, he took the nature of a servant, and we're called to do the same thing.
I've learned that life is tough, and you're just gonna have to work and get through it, and it may be hard at times, but in the end, something beautiful and amazing is gonna come out of it.
Even in every moment, the good and the bad, and knowing that it's all part of his plan, and praising him for that. And I think that's the biggest thing I've learned just through serving.
Something that's probably been the hardest thing about growing is not being able to have control of every little moment, just kind of letting things happen. And it's a great representation of giving faith to the Lord, and it's just a reminder of what the Lord does for us and how we can grow in him.
You know, you see Nehemiah and his, team, and they were building the wall, and people were like, oh, you won't be able to do it, and mocking them and threatening them and all this, but in the midst of it, he still looked to God, and, that's all you really need. So regardless of what anyone thinks and that you're not gonna make it, or that you're doing something that has no cause behind it, just look to God, and he gives you your sense of direction.
Although I'm typically a charismatic, outgoing person, I usually don't want to draw attention to this spiritual side of myself, and now it's just kind of you know what, there's no excuse for that. Ask God, give you courage, and put yourself out there, because the message needs to be heard.
On the hike, we had the opportunity to worship all together while it was just pouring down rain, and it was amazing because we were just surrounded by God's creation, and it was just a cool moment to be able to look out and see that he made all this, and yet he still loves us individually.
It just goes to show that no matter what the circumstances are, rain, sunshine, like Cooper was saying, we could praise Jesus and worship him and talk to him in any way or form. No matter if there's goats outside or thunder and lightning, we can still do what we do in the church.
My struggles and my insecurities, I can lay it all on him. He, no matter how big or small our struggle is, it's just as important to him.
When we're faithful to God, when we decide to obey him, when we decide to love other people and serve other people, the joy that comes with that is so much greater than anything else we could do.
I hope that they go home just feeling really renewed and sustained to continue their faith for the rest of their lives.